Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the 143. This is Under Review. We're coming at you live with episode 202. Nick, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing good. Had a Cowboys banger yesterday. Obviously, you're going to have to touch on that for a little bit, but there were some pretty interesting games throughout the week. We're here to bring it all to you.
That's the truth. We're going to start you off this week with, actually not the stat of the week, with kind of just in its place, some honorable mentions from the week. Brought to you by our sponsor, Andrews Logistics. We just want to say a tremendous thank you from here at Under Review to Marcus Simeon, Adolis Garcia, Jonah Heim, and Josh Spores as Simeon was traded and the other three were let go into free agency. This is a sad time to be a Rangers fan right now. The 2023 World Series team is all but gone pretty much with the exception of a few players, and Corey Seager just requested a trade. So, we're losing the core of that team. Adolis Garcia will always be a hero for Rangers fans. And I hate that we're letting these guys go. We thank them so much for their contribution. That World Series was probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, sports moment of me and Nick's life so far. So it's really sad to see him go.
Yeah, they'll obviously always have special place in our hearts, special place here in Texas because of what they were able to do for us to win a World Series. But it just hurts to see him go. But we'll see what happens.
It's going to really hurt to see Corey go as well.
Yes,
if he goes, which it sounds like he might. So Rangers are rebuilding, which is what we've said all along probably would happen. To be fair with these guys, everyone other than Corey, other than Corey Seager, these guys that have gone and did not really perform. Really wish they had, because I think Chris Young really wanted to keep the team together. And, it's just hard when the guys are that bad last season to keep them together. So, tough to see him go, but let's move on to football.
Yeah, you're a player of the week. Got to have Jahmyr Gibbs. He had 15 carries for 219 yards, ran in 2 touchdowns, and then he caught 11 passes for 45 yards and a touchdown. So
star of the show.
Just a ridiculous week for him.
Very dynamic player.
Very much so needed as the Lions beat the Giants to no one's surprise, but it took overtime to get it done. Moment of the week was probably Jameis Winston catching a touchdown pass and then absolutely sunning the Detroit Lions linebacker. Just hits a little spin move, stiff arm, step over, walks into the end zone. Pretty. That was probably one of the best highlights of the week. Jameis is such a character that anytime he gets onto the field, you want to see him succeed, and then for him to have that moment was pretty sick. He also threw for like 366 yards.
Yeah. Impressive game from him as well.
Made it a game against Detroit. Obviously wasn't enough, and then their season's been out the window for a little bit. But that was a cool moment to have. See Jameis Winston catch a touchdown.
Absolutely. Your number one team in the NFL right now, New England Patriots, get the win over Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 3-8 now. Joe Burrow is coming back for Thanksgiving night against the Ravens. With how bad the division's been, it's not like it's over for the Bengals, but their defense is terrible. So it might be over for them. But the Patriots, man, this is more about the Patriots. They've been rolling. Vrabel turned this team around completely. Drake May is an MVP candidate right now. And, there's a different culture there now. A lot of people are saying, oh, it must stink to be a Patriots fan because, you've been bad for so long, aka like 5 seasons, and then they're back to being contenders in the NFC or AFC again. So, not that Patriot fans have really ever had it bad in the last 30 years, but it's cool to see Mike Vrabel and Drake May being successful. We like them here on this show, so they're rolling.
And all these guys that they're building their offense and defense around. I guess just the team in general. It's a young core. You got obviously Drake May, and then Travion Henderson, who he came onto the scene this year, and we've really seen him kind of catch fire the last 3-4 weeks or so.
Yep.
There have been a lot of talks about how good he was supposed to be, and then we've seen them kind of cut him loose a little bit. Hunter Henry had a really good week, but then they've got Stephon Diggs and, Keyshawn Boutte and stuff like that, and then their defense is usually pretty solid. That's just, I don't know, for whatever reason, that's just one thing New England's always had. But sneaky 10-2. I think everyone thought the Patriots were going to be better coming into the season, but I don't think this was kind of what we expected.
Absolutely not.
At the top of the AFC for sure. But good for them. Cincinnati, they were playing without Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow does come back, but it might be too little too late. Their division's bad enough to where they might be able to sneak back in, but they've just dug themselves into a pretty big hole. The AFC is just so weak right now that you don't really know, but to come back from 3-8, that's just
they'd have to win out.
Difficult.
They'd have to win out, so that's probably not going to happen. But it would be cool to see
Vikings
Joe Burrow back.
Look absolutely horrendous.
Swing and a miss with J.J. McCarthy.
Stinks.
Awful.
He's come out with his quote-unquote alter ego, which is 9. 9 stinks.
Awful.
He
threw for 87 yards and 2 interceptions, no touchdowns against the Packers. They should just go to the backup, the third string, I guess, since Wentz is out. J.J. McCarthy was a bust, but nobody's really that surprised. Nobody thought he was going to be that good except for the Vikings. Coming out of Michigan, where he didn't really throw the ball that much, he just handed it off, won the championship off a great defense and a great run game. The Vikings, it's pretty easy to be a quarterback on the Vikings in terms of just the weapons you have, and he can't do that. And so, it's time to just recognize him as a bust, try to get another quarterback. They should have signed Sam Darnold.
I was about to say, it's still crazy to me, the decision they made with Sam Darnold. Obviously, they were expecting J.J. McCarthy to be way better than he was, and they put a lot of stock into him. Just expectations were way too high. Obviously, it's his first full season, I guess, as the starter. I guess that's the excuse you could make, but there just hasn't been anything I've seen that's like, okay, he's done this or that, so he maybe has some sort of potential.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that makes me say that about him. Maybe he can flip it around these last couple games of the season and then figure it out in the offseason, but from what I've seen, J.J. McCarthy is not good at football.
Yeah, I agree. We will hit on the Sunday night game, and then we will dive into our last game of the discussion, which is our game. But it's just briefly mentioned, this game really wasn't about the Bucs. They've been trending down for a few weeks now. Baker Mayfield is hurt. His arm was in a sling at the end of the game. He got hurt in the second quarter. So we'll see what happens with the Buccaneers, but the Rams are rolling right now as their offense and defense are looking like the best in the league at the moment as they win 34-7. Matthew Stafford is the leading MVP candidate right now with the odds on to win the MVP. He had 273, 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams are having great seasons because Matthew Stafford's dealing. Crazy that he is one of the oldest guys in the league, still spinning it. Highland Park guy, born and raised in Dallas. But the Rams defense is scary, and right now, if the season were to end right now, I would. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC, and I would definitely take them to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Buccaneers have not been looking super great as of late, but the story is, like you said, it's the Los Angeles Rams. That defense is a brick wall. Jared Verse is having a great second year in the NFL, and then they've done a lot of plug and play in the secondary with those guys, but then offensively, Matthew Stafford is I want to look real quick to see how old Matthew Stafford is, just because.
Is he 39?
I believe so, or he's 37, actually.
37. Okay.
So he's still got some prime years left in him. It
Yeah,
looks like. But throwing a Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams, he's got some, really really
great
solid weapons around him. Completed 25 of 35 passes, and I want to say there was some stat on him where he threw 20-something touchdown passes in a row without an interception.
Yeah. It's still going.
His efficiency, but it's just cool to see somebody who's at that age still playing at that high of a level. And then, the Rams are now atop the NFC, so we're going to see how good they are. I don't mind seeing the Rams being this successful.
No, absolutely not.
I like Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay too, and then Puka Nakua, Devontae Adams. It's cool to see Devontae Adams finally on a good team that we can root for. Mm-hmm. Just because before it's been with the Packers, and then he was with the Jets, who were terrible, with the Raiders, who were terrible. But it's cool to see him in this situation. Now for the main course.
Time to get into it.
The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. Plain and simple, Dak just owns the NFC East.
Especially at home.
When he plays NFC East teams at home, don't know what it is, but he just is on another level.
He's 22-2 now against NFC East opponents at home, which is a crazy stat. And at first, it didn't look great. The Eagles went up 21-0. A lot of costly penalties and errors on part of the Cowboys, with an interception, a fumble, and then a few penalties that helped the Eagles score points. A.J. Brown was always open in the first half. It just looked like everything was going Philly's way, and it was. Cowboys score before the half, and then just come out, and the defense goes 8 straight drives without allowing any points from the Eagles, and Dak becomes Superman. George Pickens also becomes Superman, and CD had a great catch and down the stretch, and then who other than Brandon Aubrey to walk us off with a field goal. Biggest comeback in franchise history at 21 points, and the Cowboys win 24-21. Our defense looked worlds better than it's looked all season in the second half. And Dak just coming alive, getting that game time touchdown himself, flipping over a defender in the end zone.
Just crazy to see the defense just really hunker down in the second half the way they did. He's really preparing for it to be a blowout, and then special teams forces a turnover, and defensively they've forced a turnover as well on Saquon Barkley, which I believe that was actually his first fumble of the season. It was unfortunate because could have put ourselves in a better position to win the game early on, mainly after the fumbled punt. We end up going for it on 4th and goal rather than taking the points when it was 21-21, and ended up turning it over. But interestingly enough about A.J. Brown is he caught a touchdown pass, which is his first touchdown pass of November, and he has the same amount of receiving touchdowns in the month of November as Jameis Winston does. So that's an interesting thing to think about.
Absolutely.
The one thing that we've always talked about it, I feel like, on this show, is when you force Jalen Hurts to make good decisions in the passing game and force him to win the game using his arm. Not saying it's a guaranteed win, but you're setting yourself up for success. When you force him to make throws to win the game, you're putting yourself in a really good spot.
To be able to take away the run game the way we did. Saquon Barkley, 10 carries, 22 yards. To take away that run game was big, because if Jalen Hurts does not have a Hall of Fame run game like he did last season, and he's got to throw the ball, you have a way better shot to win that game, because Jalen Hurts with his arm does not scare anybody. Philly fans leading up to the game, we saw videos of Philly elementary school kids using punching bags with the Cowboys players' faces on them. You saw the Philly fans just talking lots of smack about this game, caring about it a lot. Then the Cowboys win the game, and now all I see from Philly fans is, well, that's y'all's Super Bowl, and to us, we're still 8-3, and it's like, no, you care a lot about this game because you don't like us and we don't like you, and well, we took the game away from them. Philly fans should be disgusted with their team right now. I don't care if they're 8-3. All these media outlets coming on saying, "Oh, the Philadelphia, like they're fine. It was just one bad game." Buddy, your offenses look terrible all season. And if it hadn't been for a couple of nice penalties, they never should have scored 21 points all game. Their offense looked horrendous, other than the first drive they had. And the Cowboys just came in and just proud of the way the boys rallied and played and won.
I mean, we've been saying it all season long, and it finally got exposed on Sunday afternoon. And so, we're hoping that maybe some other teams are going to be able to catch on and at least, notice the trend that is happening. Because, their offense has been horrible the whole year, but then it has been, sputtering the last 4 or so weeks.
They've been getting lucky with how good their defense is.
Like the way their defense played against the Packers, against the Lions. A surprising 21-point game from the offense, and then, Dak in the second half was able to carve up the Eagles' defense. One person we need to highlight has, I say highlight, it's more like a low light, was CeeDee Lamb. To wear the number 88 and play the way he did and then speak the way he did after the game just kind of frustrates you a little bit. Let me look at this again.
He's had 7 drops against the Eagles this season.
He still had 75 yards, but he had 4 catches on 11 targets. And he dropped a pass in the end zone, which obviously in the end did not end up mattering because we win the game via a game-winning field goal. But it was 21-21 at that point, and Dak hits him right in the chest, right in the breadbasket, and it just goes right between his arms and falls to the ground. And he's yelling at Dak or whatever, saying he should have put the ball more out front. But if he hits you in the chest where it's not super contested, where the defender doesn't get a hand on it, you got to be catching those passes.
Yeah, and I think CeeDee will bounce back. I think we've seen what he is. He's a top 3 receiver in the NFL at his best. We need him to bounce back. George Pickens had a great game, but I'm going to say the reason George Pickens is having such an amazing season, number one, he's amazing. One-on-one, he's great. He didn't have this great of seasons in Pittsburgh, and it's because he was the only receiver there. So right now, the fact that CeeDee is there getting double teamed on a lot of these plays is opening this slant route up for George Pickens. That's how he's getting a lot of his yards, is on this slant route. And then one-on-one deep down the field, George Pickens is unbelievable. I'm not trying to take anything away from GP, but we need CeeDee to be good so that GP can continue to be good because they complement each other, taking guys off of each other. So I think he'll bounce back. And, Thanksgiving Day would be a great time for him to do it.
We're playing the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. And, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. They're just scary because you know what they're capable of, what they can do when they come out on the field, every Sunday or Thursday, whatever.
But so are the Eagles.
And this is kind of the weakest that we've seen.
They've been in a while, yeah.
This would be a good – I don't want to –
be a great game to win.
Get the hopes too high because we're still 5-1. Need a lot of fall in place. We're not going to the playoffs. Anything. Yeah. But you just want to at least be competitive, and just at least end the season with something to hang your hat on.
And win on Thanksgiving Day probably will be the most watched Thanksgiving Day game ever. We break that record a lot, but in front of the world on Thanksgiving Day when everyone's watching us play, it'd be great to get that win. But the Eagles win was huge. This is the one team that we want to beat every season, whether we're good or bad. And to win the way we did, to just suck the life out of Philadelphia and to beat them down like that in the second half when they thought they had the game won, to what we've been saying all season, to make it come down to Jalen Hurts' arm and for him to stink and for Saquon to stink and for Dak to just own them and George Pickens to just come alive. I mean, CD, his catch downfield was phenomenal, incredible. We needed that too. Cooper DeJean had a bad day, and that was good to see too, down the field. But yeah, just the way that game was won and the fact that we won it was great.
I mean, you always want to. I mean, when we play Philly, that game's always circled on the calendar.
Especially at home.
They're, like Joseph was saying, they're trying to roast us for saying this is our Super Bowl or whatever. But I mean,
every game is our Super Bowl at this point.
This is a division rival who we have hated for years and years and years. I mean, there's a lot of pride and bragging rights and just, I don't know. This is a huge game for both teams just because of how deeply entrenched this rivalry has been for, years.
And I saw a clip today. Like, every game is our Super Bowl because of the spot we're in right now. So, yeah, sure, it is our Super Bowl because for us to do anything to get to the playoffs, we pretty much have to win out. So, I mean, pretty much every game is our Super Bowl at this point. And, of course, we're trying to win the Philly game. And you know what? Philly was trying to win it too.
Biggest rival. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But anyways, here's in our shows and under review. Brought you a quote from Luka Doncic. Gave in a press conference while he's in LA, mind you. He said, "Did you see the Cowboys?"
Ain't that the truth?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And we're happy to hear Luka still
having a place in his heart for Dallas.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the question everyone's been asking all week. Did you see the Cowboys? Because we drummed the Philadelphia Eagles in the second half. So, it'd be nice to hang on to this one for a week, but we have 4 days to hang on to it, and then it's on to Kansas City. So let's enjoy while it lasts, and thank you for tuning in this week. We'll see you next week with another episode of Under Review. Happy Thanksgiving as well.